Welcome back to Sarcastic Recaps, where we're diving into the cinematic roller coaster called I Am Legend. Get ready to dive into a world of science gone wrong, mutated zombies, and one very lonely protagonist. In a not-so-distant future, scientists thought they were on a roll, hacking the measles virus, that pesky thing we've all been vaccinated against. But guess what? The virus rebelled, spreading like wildfire and morphing people into mutant creatures known as dark seekers. These nasties love feasting on humans and cower from sunlight like vampires. Nice going, science. Flash forward 3 years and we're in the heart of post-apocalyptic New York City. No Broadway shows here, folks, just some zoo animals having a grand old time roaming the streets, and Robert's the last BBQ on the block. Once a military virologist, now enjoys his days alongside his trusty sidekick, Sam the dog. They make quite the dynamic duo, scavenging for critters as they explore the cities. Robert's quite the shot, both with his gun and his generosity. Even when spotting lion families on the prowl, he graciously lets them have their carnivorous feasts. He also sets an alarm to avoid being out after sundown. Once triggered, he retreats to his fortified home, a safe haven where he secures doors and windows and even bleaches the steps to mask his scent from dark seekers. Robert gathers lots of food and keeps old news recordings to seem healthy. He pretends to follow his old routine, talking to Sam, his faithful dog, and doing normal tasks like cooking and cleaning. However, his troubling memories keep coming back, no matter how much he tries to avoid them. When night comes, Robert and Sam hide in the bathtub with guns, the eerie sounds of dark seekers outside triggering memories of the outbreak. Once upon an outbreak, the government brilliantly sealed the island, launching panic as people stampeded for escape. Enter Robert, trying to gather wife Zoe, daughter Marley, and young Sam, the puppy. A hitch in the plan. Robert's virus fixation versus Zoe's fury. They exchange words hotter than a summer day, nearly crashing their car in the process. Robert stubbornly clutching onto his treatment hopes. Post-Sam sweat session, he heads to his basement lab like a scientist on a mission. Poor Sam's on the bench, infection risk and all. But alas, the rat testers aren't impressed. All those serums and no standing ovation. One morning, he sees that one of the rats is actually getting better. It's a small victory, but it means he can move on to the next phase of testing. Of course, to move forward, he needs a human subject. Then we see Robert and Sam at a video store. Robert set up some mannequins there to make things seem normal, like he's still in the old routine. He chats with these plastic pals as if they're his buddies, and he keeps swapping out movies like it's a real thing. Robert amusingly pretends a mannequin's hitting on him. He swears to Sam that he'll flirt back someday. Robert and Sam hit the parks to grab some fresh veggies. They're like urban farmers, mapping out their turf. They hit different houses daily, leaving medical loot and cleaning stuff behind. Oh, the charming sights of post-apocalyptic decor. Robert stumbles upon some cheery scenes. Bodies here, unused nurseries there. Robert fuels up the car and then heads to the South Street Seaport, where he becomes a one-man radio station inviting survivors to join his exclusive club. And while he waits for potential guests, he indulges in some high-flying golf on top of Air Force planes. While out and about, Sam catches sight of a deer, and the dynamic duo, Robert and Sam, embark on a majestic pursuit through the urban jungle. Sam can't resist exploring, much to Robert's delight. Because, dark and creepy structures are clearly the perfect spot for playdates with dark seekers. Sam's bravely in there, ignoring Robert's calls. So naturally, Robert joins the party, tiptoeing to keep it hush-hush. Then, out of nowhere, terrifying noises. But Robert's no quitter. He's not leaving without Sam. Armed with courage, he covers his flashlight, ready to face whatever lurks ahead. Robert enters the building, following the blood trail upstairs. But hold up, a bunch of dark seekers are hanging around, huh? Quick reflexes kick in, Robert retreats swiftly, keeping his flashlight hidden from their watchful eyes. Robert spins around, relief flooding in as he spots Sam cowering under a desk. But whoa, out of nowhere, a dark seeker pounces at Robert from behind. Meanwhile, the other creepy crawlers are hot on his heels, closing in. With a swift dash, Robert leaps through a window, just as the dark pursuers corner him in their sinister grip. Robert's daring move exposes the dark seekers to sunlight, causing them to fall lifeless. Reuniting with Sam, he devises a clever trap on a bridge using a truck and canvas at the building's entrance. After cautioning Sam to stay back to prevent infection, he drips his blood on the canvas. As the dark seekers approach, lured by the blood, the trap springs, causing the truck to collapse, ensnaring the creatures within the canvas. Our star dark seeker, the one and only Alpha, decides to grace us with his presence. He gives Robert a good old-fashioned roar of disapproval when he realizes the sun isn't his biggest fan and scurries away faster than you can say sunscreen. He's got this infected Darkseeker on the lab table, complete with a butterfly tattoo. With his trusty UV light, he confirms the obvious, infected. Robert injects the promising serum from the successful rat into the Darkseeker. Suddenly, the captive creature stages a theatrical struggle and faints dramatically, causing vital signs to plummet. A rescue injection fails to restore her, leading to a frustrated furniture rearrangement. She's then put on display behind a glass door, starring in her own mutant reality show. Robert documents this eventful day, mutants and their quirky behaviors. Robert concludes his day in the lab, playfully remarking on the Darkseeker Alpha's sun-tanning spree. It's as if they've all collectively decided to ignore basic survival skills and indulge in a bit of social distancing. The Mutant Edition. This amusing situation takes Robert back to the chaotic outbreak days when people fled the island in a frenzy, resembling scenes from an over-the-top disaster film. FAQs got the golden ticket out while the rest faced quarantine. Well, they were the VIPs chauffeured to safety. On foot, they reached the port. Scanner time. Marley's good, Zoe's not. Panic mode, on. No separation allowed. Robert, the hero, flexes his rank muscles, demands a rescan, and voila. Zoe's cleared, and hey, being an army fam pays off, chopper ride secured. Robert stands firm, bids adieu to Zoe and Marley, who smartly leave Sam behind for doggy protection. Fast forward to now, the usual routines on until bam. Surprise mannequin appearance on the bridge. Robert's sanity slips a notch, cue a shot fired. Just a casual reality check, you know. The mannequin drops like a sack in a biggie. But wait, hush-hush voices tease Robert's ears. Enter frantic bullet ballet. Except plot twist. Car crash surprise. Rope snags Robert midair, comedy ensues. Hold up, Pup Sam's in the mix, cue a dramatic drop of blood, end of scene. The wake-up call. Robert's trusty alarm clock. Sam's on standby, son's bidding adieu. Robert, meat knife, ropes no match. But oops, tango with gravity leaves a leg souvenir. Hello, crawling mode. Sam's not MVP this time, catching growls on the breeze. Alpha's in town, plus some doggy cronies, party crashers galore. Doggos unleashed, scenting Robert on the menu. Quick return is solar beams, almost singe furry hides. Robert's up and sprinting, car his lifeline. A gun's in the spotlight. Son dips, cue the doggy assault. Sam's caught in a tussle. Bites mount a love nibble. Robert battles the attacking dogs with his gun, defending fiercely. His focus shifts to Sam, injured and whimpering. Rushing to the lab, he administers his serum, holding her tenderly. But Sam's condition worsens and sadness envelops them both. After a heartfelt farewell, he lays her to rest in the garden. Overwhelmed by grief, he attempts to numb the pain with a cocktail of drugs, seeking solace in temporary oblivion. In a moment of desperation, Robert talks to a mannequin at the video store, treating it like a friend he had promised something to. The mannequin's silence amplifies his loneliness, pushing him closer to a breaking point. In an act of vengeance, Robert drives his car over several Darkseekers at night, managing to eliminate a few. However, they retaliate under Alpha's command, attacking him. As they try to overpower him, they tip a light pole onto his car and trap him inside. But a UV light unexpectedly blinds them, forcing the Darkseekers, including Alpha, to retreat. Robert, injured from the car's overturn, senses someone else carrying him in their vehicle. Weakly, he provides his address, urging them to avoid pursuit before departing. In his dream that night, Robert relives the tragic moment when the government bombed the bridge to seal off the island. Amid the chaos, a helicopter crashes into his family as people desperately try to escape, ending their lives in an instant. The next morning arrives with the delightful melody of an animated movie gracing Robert's ears from the TV. With his freshly stitched leg wound and a firearm firmly in hand, he ventures into the kitchen. Oh, but no, it's just Anna and her little sidekick Etha, the individuals who were meant to rescue him the previous night. Hannah, the breakfast virtuoso, arrives with her son Ethan, causing Robert's gun to take a breather. They recount their Maryland origins and their quest to find the virus-free nirvana of Vermont, where frosty mountains are apparently the key to survival. How novel. In a burst of skepticism, Robert dismisses the notion and plops Sam down, storming off upstairs for a timeout. Upon his return, he showcases his movie-quoting skills to Ethan, shedding light on his own solitude and strong attachment to the film's monster character. Robert expresses gratitude to Anna for the rescue, and they chat briefly. Anna recounts her story of being part of a Red Cross evacuation from San Paulo, mentioning that her group's boat was stolen, resulting in tragic losses. Despite Anna's plan to head to Vermont, Robert declines, revealing his determination to remain at Ground Zero to continue his work on finding a cure. Later, they explore the site where Robert was trapped the previous night, a trap made by the Darkseekers with their newfound talents in carpentry and strategic planning. Anna playfully proposes that these creatures might be on the fast track to becoming the next architectural marvels of the mutant world. Ethan's delightful day out takes an unexpected turn as he voices his displeasure about the chilly fountain water. That gave Robert an idea. Let's give the mutant a frosty spa treatment strategy, hoping that changing her body temperature might work some magic with the serum. Anna gets a glimpse of Robert's photographic evidence of past serum testing endeavors. Anna finds Ethan dozing on the couch. Robert kindly offers to take him to his daughter's former bed. Seeing photos of Robert's family, Anna learns a bit about his past. Marley, their daughter's name, was inspired by Bob Marley. Robert plays one of Marley's songs and shares how the musician's resilience after surviving a shooting resonated with him. With nightfall, Robert secures the windows. Anna persists in urging him to join a survivor colony, claiming divine guidance. Frustrated, Robert bursts out, asserting that humanity is mostly gone or transformed into malevolent creatures. Mid-conversation, a disturbance outside startles them. The Dark Seekers have tracked the scent of last night's spilled blood. Anna rushes to protect Ethan while Robert switches on the outdoor lights. However, the Dark Seekers attack, overwhelming their defenses. In a last resort, Robert triggers buried explosives, annihilating the approaching horde. Racing upstairs to find Anna, Robert is ambushed by Alpha. They engage in a fierce battle, with Robert utilizing a screwdriver as a weapon. However, Alpha's resilience is unnerving. Subdued, Robert seizes a concealed firearm hidden with the umbrellas. As Alpha evades gunfire by ducking into another room, Robert fires at a gas canister, causing a powerful explosion. Suddenly, Alpha leaps out a window and disappears. Robert continues his search for Anna and Ethan, locating them taking cover beneath furniture as a Dark Seeker devastates the ceiling above. Spotting a gun on a nearby table, Robert seizes it and shoots at the creature just as it turns towards him. Amid this chaos, Robert hears a commotion outside and realizes that Alpha has returned with a larger group of Dark Seekers. Swiftly, the trio seeks refuge in the safety of the lab. The female test subject is on the mend, a glimmer of hope. But of course, before they can start celebrating, the Dark Seekers decide to crash their party. With the lab invaded, Robert plays doorman and seals the glass door, attempting to reason with the uninvited guests. He kindly offers his services to save them, but the Dark Seekers aren't exactly in a listening mood. Alpha, with a Hulk-like move, shatters the glass and unveils his inner Picasso by drawing a butterfly. Robert gets it. Dark Seekers on a rescue mission, not bloodthirsty. Robert decides to play the hero, drops his weapon, cuts the power, and whisks the woman away through the glass door. Anna's protests become a distant murmur as the Dark Seekers unleash their displeasure on her, proving that even mutants can throw a tantrum. Furious, Robert jabs the woman with the syringe and she wakes up. Alpha is thrilled and they reunite, rubbing his forehead against hers in a gesture of celebration. Alpha and the woman prepare to leave, guided by an understanding Robert failed to see. He realizes the town belongs to the Dark Seekers now. With acceptance, he joins Anna and Ethan for a journey to Vermont. Before they go, Anna records a message, sharing the colony's location, offering hope. Join us, she implores, to rebuild and thrive again. Thanks for enduring this roller coaster of a recap. If you enjoyed the chaos, why not subscribe and hit that notification bell? You wouldn't want to miss out on more mind-bending recaps, would you?